the track list. Wow, that's pretty cool.
You can listen to all 10 at once.
Oh, okay. "10 out of 10, great album!" Erika Harlachers is a voice actress known for playing several characters, most notably on for Persona 5 and My Boy Kurapika in Hunter x Hunter, as well as literally hundreds and hundreds of other roles. What do you mean she's Mako's mom in Kill la Kill? She's in Far Harbor? Godzilla. Anyways, apparently due to a burnout in acting, Erika decided to take a step back and dive headfirst into something that she thought would make her happy. That something being music. And after a lot of time and money, she brought to the world her debut album Nondisclosure, released on May 16th, 2025. Or actually May 15th, 2025 at 9 p.m. PST for us West Coast Americans. Thank you, Erika, for mentioning that time specifically when announcing the album. I appreciate the representation. Naturally, I'm a fan of Erika given her work as Kurapika and the fact that I met her at SummerCon of 2024, so when my friend Jonas sent me a TikTok of her teasing the song STFU, I was incredibly intrigued, and I also checked out her previously released song Late Stage. While I was overall lukewarm on the singles, with STFU being the one I liked the most because of the verses, I still listened to the album the moment Jonas sent me the link for it, and oh boy do I not regret it one bit. So let's quit wasting time and get right into this.
Oopsie Daisy, I think that I'm out of baby.
Oopsie Daisy is such a weird opener. For an album that ended up consisting of mostly pop-punk songs with a little bit of pop thrown in the mix, as well as a few ballads here and there, it's so strange to just start it all off with a 50s doo-wop song. I respect that decision. From my understanding, based off of some of the promotion she did for this album, this is the song about that time she joined a cult in college. Which is a sentence, and a story that I wish we could have heard more details of, because the song overall seems to be lacking in that regard. The lyrics read more as just talking about a bad relationship with someone that's manipulative, which I assume would have been the member of the cult, but the song doesn't really expand outside of the relationship aspect. Does that make it bad? No. Still a good song about accidentally falling in love with a soulless, manipulative scumbag with a catchy little upright bass tune that plays as an interlude between some of the song sections. Erika's melody for Distract Me on the Inside is also quite catchy, and I also like her delivery of rehearsed one damn line.
The roles were all for show to just distract me from the inside. Lady, rehearse one damn line.
But if this is supposed to be about the joining a cult in college, I wish the song could have focused a bit more on the cult aspect than the relationship leading to it, but that's just me. There's probably people that fell into the same trap that can relate to the song. I've just never been to college. That implies that I've been in a cult. Well, I guess I do run the cult of Jeff Goldblum. I also like the little intro with the Oopsie Daisy chants that for some reason just makes me think of video games. Though overall, I can't really say I'm a big fan of the song, but that's mostly because of the 50s doo-wop sound just not really being my kind of thing. I do respect the bold choice to have this as an album opener though.
I would rather look back at my time on earth than say I tried. It won't be easy and I'll fumble.
Ambition immediately brings us into the pop-punk sound of the album. Very Avril Lavigne, very millennial. What, you're telling me the millennial makes millennial music? Next, you're gonna tell me I make Gen Z music. What a shocker! Honestly, I don't care how millennial this album sounds, or if it sounds very early Avril Lavigne, because Avril Lavigne has made some bops in her time, and I will always appreciate a nice pop-punk guitar riff, trading between palm mutes with a quick open strum here and there. The song seems to focus on her life and struggles as a voice actress, and even though she may get denied plenty of jobs, and sometimes it feels like she has to fight her way to get a role, she continues to do it because it's what makes her happy, gives her life, and overall gives her a way of leaving her mark on the world. Which of that last part I can confirm that she has, because my god, I love Kurapika so much, and getting to have a recording of him saying my name means the damn world to me and makes me so giddy whenever I hear it. Fun fact, I've actually recorded this video 3 times now. All 3 times I've delivered that line, I have had such a huge smile on my face. I am so glad I got that video from her. Also, as someone who owns a pair of Kurapika chains, seeing the way she throws them around in the promotion video causes me pain. I can only imagine how much of a nightmare those things became to attempt to untangle them. My god, they are worse than earbuds. But like I said, I like the instrumental, but I also really like Erika's singing on here. The chorus is pretty catchy, and I really love the flow she has with the "ambition I'm missing" rhyme, as well as that key change in the final chorus and all the little voice interludes throughout the song. Oh, and also that withheld delivery of Spark at the end of the bridge is really good, and the final "alive" in the chorus, along with the "I'm alive" ending the track. And I gotta say, there's something nice about hearing a voice actress turn the struggles of their job into a banger. Like a behind-the-curtain look at something I love and adore. Great song. Speaking of great songs...
I don't wanna drink, I don't wanna dance, I don't want your hands all over me. I don't wanna tell you again.
Panther เพลงไปชนนะ
Get out of here! Anyways, Panther brings us into the pop realm with some trap percussions, sounding more like a club banger, which is fitting given how the song kind of takes place in a club. The track's about trying to have some fun and relax, but that being ruined with a dude hitting on you and not taking no for an answer, and it's easily one of my favorite songs on the album. I love the production, especially that synth brass that Erika harmonizes and flows over so well, and what I assume are her O's being sung in the background during the pre-chorus sounds so great. The lyrics are so good, with several highlights like Dressed in Supreme, which definitely tells me this dude is the douchiest of douchebags. Calling him Mr. Masochist is also great, and the I don't really care that this worked on her is a top-tier line from the track in my opinion. The little vocal interludes continue with that great one of her laughing and then going, actually, it's not funny anymore. And the chorus is so damn catchy, I can't help but move my head along to her flow while just overall dancing along to the whole thing. Also, I've only played a wholehearty 15 minutes of Persona 5. At least before recording the gameplay that I will inevitably get for this video, but according to a very credible and reputable source, this song gives On vibes, with the character apparently having to deal with a creep in the game, and also the promotional TikTok for this had Erika dressing up as On, so while it is a great song about a creepy douche, I guess it can also work as a little bit of an On theme, and I think that's pretty cool. I also think the song heavily benefits from Erika being a voice actress, because it's so easy for me to just be able to close my eyes and envision the entire story and events that play out here all in my head. If I knew how to draw and animate, I would 100% put all the time in making a fan music video for this. Also, some of her line deliveries are so damn satisfying to me, specifically the "Honey, I wrote this book so I know how it ends," and "I don't think you want to dance with a panther."
Honey, I wrote this book, so I know how it ends. I don't think you want to dance with a panther.
Oh god, the singing and harmonies during the second half of the bridge when she says, "Don't want to repeat myself, nerves already feeling frayed," are heavenly. I love them.
Don't repeat myself, nerves already feeling frayed, yeah.
So yeah, great song, amazing bop, love dancing and vibing along to it. I also think it's kind of funny that this album was dropped on the same day as Stan Atlantic's deluxe edition of Was Here, because this song kind of feels like a pseudo-sequel of I'm the Man, but from the woman's perspective. I think that's mostly because of the "what I see is what I get, hey girl, can I be your boyfriend" line.
Didn't wait to grow up, but what a huge mistake. Now I collect every second, no one to throw.
Candles on My Cake goes back to the pop-punk sound while being about the concept of time not existing and seeming to age incredibly fast. With a woman doing this, literally just Paramore. Jokes aside, this is another highlight from the album. The chorus is yet again catchy as fuck, and I love the way Erika delivers "Don't Want to Throw 'Em Away." Actually, her delivery is great on the whole song, to be honest. And even as someone who hasn't hit the dying age of 30... yet, the song still ends up being pretty relatable, with some pretty good lines as well, like "The sound of construction is so sharp on my brain," and my absolute favorite, "I could swear only yesterday was 2008.
2008 Watch Dowa Dowa.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I'm gonna be honest though, I don't really have that much else to say about the track. The riffs are nice, chorus slaps, Erika singing is great. It's just overall a fun, relatable song about the passage of time.
Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
STFU was the second single for the album, unfortunately not a cover of the Pink Eye song. Or maybe fortunately, because that sounds like a very cursed concept. As I stated earlier, I preferred this single over its former mostly because of the verses, with this mix of sarcasm and genuine annoyance towards a person for always causing drama than blaming everyone else for it. When I say the concept like that, it actually becomes quite relevant to a specific somebody I know, but even before realizing that right now as I'm writing this, the song was already relatable in some of the lines from the first verse. I like the various deliveries Erika has throughout both of the verses, along with her melodies, and the way she rhymes "away in" with "stay in." Oh, and there's also the production, which returns us back into the pop side of things, which given how this was a single, I do commend the choice of making it one of them. The taste we got of this album was pop-punk, then pop, and then the opening track is some 50s doo-wop shit, which made me think this whole album was just going to be every track is a different genre. While it didn't end up being like that, it was a nice way of easing us into the sound of this project. I guess that's the C for marketing coming into play. But while I have all this positive stuff to say, and this was the single that I kept coming back to every now and then, I do have one problem with the song, and it's the chorus. While on repeated listens, it has gotten a tiny bit better because I notice all the different ways Erika delivers these 4 words, sounding so smarmy, irritated, and low-key like she's talking down to the person in a way that's pretty funny to me. It is still fundamentally her saying shut the fuck up 14 times, and that's not even counting how the chorus plays a total of 3 times. I'm sure if I dug through every song I actively listen to, I can maybe find an outlier in this, but in most cases, I'm just not a fan of very repetitive choruses, and this one tends to dip into that case, with it taking me out of the song, unless I'm actively trying to listen to the different ways Erika says this phrase. I guess I do also find the transition between the verses and the pre-chorus to be a bit jarring, but I don't really consider that to be a big issue. But even with my problems with the chorus, it is mostly a good song and one that I can at least listen to for the verses and production, and I'm glad that even though I wasn't entirely on board with both singles, this album still managed to bring some amazing songs that I love. Case in point.
Why's every song played on a heartstring? Searching for the real thing, falling into
Favorite song of the album right here. Oh my god, where do I begin? I guess the intro that sounds like it was ripped straight out of an anime opening and makes me flashback to 2016 watching Sword Art Online for the first time. Coincidentally, that's also my first anime I ever saw. And we know that I tend to like songs about love, with the occasional love song, so it's no surprise to me that my favorite song of the album, and the one that I keep coming back to over and over again, is the song that sounds like a love song talking about love songs. My biggest love from this song is the chorus. It's so insanely catchy and just sounds so fucking good. There's something oddly nostalgic about it. I don't really know how to describe it. It just somehow makes me feel like a kid again while also enjoying the flow and rhythm of the lines. Like, it's so incredibly simple, but I love how she changes heartstrings to heart sing, and then rhymes it with gold ring, and in general, just how she delivers it.
It's like we only let our hearts sing if we're chasing gold rings.
Best part of the chorus for me, absolute peak. And the key change during the final chorus hits so damn hard. There's this tiny part of it that feels slightly off, like it shouldn't happen, but when it does, I'm just hit with this wave of fuck yeah, and I get so much more into the chorus, and I don't even know how that's possible given how into it I already am. I also just love all the various melodies used throughout the song. They're just chef's kiss. Well, the song seems to be more of a critique on constant love songs and the idea of a relationship and marriage being pinned up as the biggest, most important thing in the world, to the point that the only value of your life you have is just being in one, and how there's far more things in this world that are more important, and that it's okay if there's something else that brings you joy. This track still brings these heavily relatable lines, at least to me, from someone that is in that trap, that has this part of his brain that is so obsessed on relationships and wanting to be in one, and has gone in various waves of emotions from being single and while also struggling through codependency a lot. Lines like endless attraction, want to hurl myself into a tree, it feels like everyone but me is finding everything they've been dreaming of, and the 2 little ad-libs of oh my god I get it and do you have to rub it in hit me so close to home, and I love listening to a song that just straight up uses phrases that I find myself saying in my mind.
I think jag gör audition för the one reason.
Oh come on, nobody's even gonna get that reference. I will say, though, that the lines, there's so much more to me than standing in a picture next to you, and I'm so much more than heartstrings, have been pretty anthemic for me at times. Like a little motto that love isn't the only thing about me, and it's really nice to have that in a song that I can sing along to. The only thing I think I have left to comment on is just the instrumental being really great with its use of piano and acoustic guitars, along with those more softer electric guitars during the chorus. As I already stated, it's my favorite song off the album. It was on my first listen, and still continues to be after several more. It's just a heavily relatable bop and banger while also still being pretty fun. I don't really intend on doing a Best Songs of the Year list for 2025, but if I do, expect this to be on there.
And although you would give anything to feel the searing warmth of an old
Burnt Out is the first of 2 ballads on this album, with this one's lyrical topics being pretty self-explanatory just from the title alone. It's about burnout, and I won't lie, it's pretty relatable. I've been pretty open in the past of my several burnouts, and anytime I think that's behind me and I might actually be really productive and back to the way I used to be when making videos, it seems to just fall back into that case. There's just some weeks that I don't feel like doing anything or can't bring myself to work on any videos. Needless to say, hearing a song about burnout kinda hits my core just a little bit. The whole chorus just kinda hits hard, and Erika's beautiful singing helps bring them to life, to the point that it'll send chills throughout me. Speaking of chills, I got heavy chills when I watched the promotional video for the song, and Erika looked directly at the camera right at the "You've Changed" line. Fucking goosebumps. The song has also brought me to tears at least once, so there's that as well. And for a ballad, I really like it. I'm not one that's too keen on ballads in general, just not really my kind of thing, but I love the sound of the piano on here with its almost reversed sound layered within the beginning. The acoustic guitars that come in after the first chorus is a nice touch, and the introduction of a melody on the piano and the backing strings during the bridge are very moving. I'm currently having this track play while writing this, and I gotta reiterate one more time how fucking beautiful Erika's singing is on here. I think it might be my favorite case of it on this entire album. I think her voice just really shines and has all these little moments of vulnerability or small hints of it breaking or just sounding off that lends itself so nicely to the ultimate feeling and tone of the song. Just gorgeous. Great track overall, one of the highlights from the album for me personally, without a doubt.
We weren't made to be just caught in a
Late Stage was the first single, and as I've mentioned several times already, I wasn't that much of a fan of it, and I'm still not. Honestly, I don't really even know why. I like the lyrical topics and even agree with them. We weren't meant to be cogs in a machine. The rich ruled the world. The idea of the American dream is bullshit. College is a scam. Global warming is depressing. And late-stage capitalism sucks ass. These are all sentiments I agree with and can relate to frustration towards them. But I don't know, there's just something about the vibe of the song that doesn't do much for me. While I have no problem with the millennial sound that's found on the rest of the pop-punk cuts on this album, this one specifically just doesn't work for me personally, and I don't really know how to explain why. That's kind of the struggle I have sometimes with reviewing music. Something can work for me with one song and then just not work with another, and I don't really have any way to explain it. Theoretically, this should be a song that I would like, but I just don't really get anything out of it. I could say that while I usually relate to the topics of the lyrics, the way that these are written is where it doesn't work, or the chorus falls flat for me with the slight hey stomp clap vibes and Erika's stop-start delivery, or how I like Refused songs about the same topic because it feels more like a guttural aggression towards these things, with a lot of screaming and heavy guitar riffs that I can relate my frustration to, while Late Stage just comes across more like an attempt at relatability to me, even though I'm sure this is all genuinely Erika's frustration. It sounds like it's trying to be a rise up anthem without any of the energy behind it, like a pop punk version of Rachel Platen's Fight song. But god, that all sounds so pretentious. And am I even right with all of this? Of course not. Nobody's right or wrong when it comes to feeling music. It's all extremely subjective, wiggly air. Hell, there were a few songs that I like or the songs that the hardcore fanbase doesn't like. This song may not work for me personally, but I know for a fact that it works for several other people. And that's great. If this is what you want to listen to in order to relieve frustration over the workforce, go right ahead. That is your right, you are valid to do so, and I'm not going to be the pretentious little twat sitting here going, ugh, coworker music. God, I hate that phrase. What the fuck even is coworker music? Because apparently it's Five Finger Death Punch, but it's also Maroon 5, but it's also I'm the Man, but it's also that guy yelling about beautiful things. Like, Jesus Christ, nothing in this quote-unquote genre fits. It's just a term thrown around at things people don't like. At this point, I could say Sabrina Carpenter and Metallica and Slipknot is all coworker music. Do you hear how fucking stupid that sounds? And that lo-fi beats to study and relax to? Actually, that's coworker music. I really do feel like the internet ruined media analysis just a little bit. Like, my god, the amount of terms y'all just create just to shit on things is just fucking annoying. Like, hell, even this song got that. No, it wasn't even this song. STFU got called Millennial Core. STFU! I mean, if you're gonna call anything on this album Millennial Core, you could call it Late Stage. But even then, what the fuck is Millennial Core? Anyways, what the hell was I talking about? Oh yeah, this is the one track of the album that just falls flat to my weird-ass ears and for whatever reason just doesn't work for me.
I put myself inside a box.
Who I Was is the second ballad on the album, and a pretty interesting one at that. The song starts off going over several experiences in Erika's childhood that eventually led her to knock out the person that she is, to become the quote-unquote better version, and the one that society and the people around her would rather like, making her become this absolute shell of the human being that she used to be. And this all works its way to the climax of the song where she finally breaks out of this box and tries to relearn herself and become the person that she was. Even if the lyrics could come off a bit corny or melodramatic, if I find myself falling into thinking that, I kind of just feel the need to push myself out of it because this is vulnerable writing, and regardless of how well written it is, I will always appreciate someone opening themselves up on a song. And yeah, I relate to being told to quiet down. I still to this day think about all the times my loud voice managed to piss someone off so badly that they yelled at me and made me feel like shit. And even just thinking of those memories can make me start feeling a bit of the rage I felt in those moments. I relate to feeling left out, not being cool, eating alone. Dear God, do I relate to eating alone. And that final line in the first verse gives me chills, not gonna lie. And the line that hits the most for me, not in terms of relatability though, is the last one in the second verse. While I don't know who or what this voice inside of Erika could have been, there's something about that line that just makes me think of the countless fans that have probably said these exact words to her at conventions. I don't know why, but the idea of someone who hid away the person that she truly was because of constantly being told every negative thing about her, then having people come up to her saying that they want to be like her and look up to her. Sounds kind of bad when I write it that way, but you get what I mean. I also like the delay on the who I was in the first chorus and how it sounds slightly pitched up from the main vocals. It just sounds nice. Overall, it's a good song.
Breaking down all of your cardboard boxes, cutting up the silhouettes of who you thought.
Not ready for me is the closing track, and one that works pretty well in my opinion. I do find it a bit strange though, mostly because it sounds like the follow-up to Who I Was, which is why I think it works as a nice closer, but it also sounds like it could be about a specific person, and I haven't got the slightest clue who that could possibly be. Regardless, it is a great song. I love the arpeggiated guitars with that panning delay, and my God, her delivery of coming from your diva teeth throws me off every time, but I love it.
Oh, I bet you never saw it coming from your devotee.
It's vastly different from the rest of the chorus's melody, but that's what makes it great. When it hits, and it sounds so good every single time. Peak moment in the song for me. And honestly, the only other thing I have to say about the track is that it's a nice self-motivational anthem. I wish I had more to say, but I just kinda don't. Production is nice, lyrics are good, and Erika singing is great. That's pretty much it. Overall, Nondisclosure was an album that I'm surprised I actually liked. Given my lukewarm feelings towards both of the singles, I wasn't really expecting to come out of this thing with several lines that get stuck in my head or genuine Song of the Year material. And when it comes to people entering into the music scene, there's a huge case of the product not being good because there is no soul put into it, and the album or song is just seen as another means to make money. But Nondisclosure doesn't have that feeling in the slightest because it's so apparently obvious that Erika genuinely had passion when making this. And it's one of, if not my favorite thing about this album, that this stands as a response to Burnout, a creation built off of a passion project. My views are a little colored by the fact that I've heard Erika say herself that she dumped a lot of money into this album, that she won't make back, and that she doesn't care about making that money back because she just wanted to make something that would bring happiness to her. But I think you can kind of already tell that just by listening to the material, and in general, I just love that. I don't know if Erika has any plans to release more music in the future, whether it just be some random singles here or there, or another attempt at a full-length album. If she does, I look forward to it. If she doesn't, then I don't really mind, because I just really like that this project stands as the passionate creation that it was, just to give her something fun to do. Also, I haven't mentioned it at all until this point, but Square is the one who's credited on producing every single one of these songs, and just in general, it's so solid. The way they're able to bounce from the pop to the pop punk is really great, and specifically with the pop punk, I think they did do a fantastic job. So yeah, Nondisclosure is a pretty good album, and I really did not expect to say that. It's not like I was thinking this album was going to be bad, I just thought it wasn't going to end up being for me, but then it was, and I think that's the biggest praise I can give it, to be honest. I also think the quote-unquote millennial sound of the album gives it a nice charm. To me, it doesn't come across as nostalgia bait or being stuck in the past, but more as someone who grew up in that time listening to that kind of music, making their own music, using that sound as their heavy inspiration, because duh, you draw on what you like listening to. I just think it's neat to get an album this year that sounds like it's from the early 2000s, not because it's trying to cash in on the Y2K nostalgia, but because it's just the artist's genuine taste in music from their own life. And that's pretty cool. And so yeah, those are my thoughts on Erika Harlachers' Nondisclosure. Have you listened to the album? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Were you meh on it? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. And yeah, that's about it. Have a good day.
And of course, everyone has their own opinion, but my opinion is the best opinion. I'm sure you figured that out already.
Subscribe and please